I'm going to do an update real quick on my tanks. As you can see here, I have one new tank. Actually, I have two new tanks. This is the biggest though. It's a 72 inch by 20 by 18 aquarium. I believe, well actually I know, math comes out to 112 gallons. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be classified as a 125 or a 100, but it comes out to 112 gallons according to the aquarium calculators I've used. Right now I've got some Carpintus Escondido in here. I bought a group of 10 a couple months ago. Ended up one of them had a deformity, so I put it into another tank. Ended up getting eaten by the Oscar, so I'm only have 9 now. Most of them are coloring up pretty good already. Most of them are only about 3 inches. I do have one in here that is absolutely tiny. And then I got these two that I think might be pairing, but I'm not totally sure yet. He won't let anybody else into that cave except for that female. So she's back there. So I'm keeping an eye on these two. This tank eventually is going to get a taller stand. That 40 is probably going to get turned into a sump, and it's going to get new lights. And then the two Emperor 400s that are on it will get moved to different tanks. So, yeah, pretty much that's it for this tank. I also plan on moving my Midas pair into this tank once I get my keeper pair of Carpintus. The Carpintus will all come out of this tank, and the Midas will get this tank to themselves. Over here, this is the 55 that's been up here for, it's been up here now I think for a year, maybe a little more. I think it's been up here for over a year actually. Anyways, my Oscar is in here. He's about 10 inches long, has the tank to himself, and he's just pretty relaxed. The only time he ever gets excited is if he sees the food. And I've got two, right now I've got two Penguin 200s running on it, and it keeps the tank up, except for once I get my sump built, this tank will get an Emperor 400 again. Down here, this tank is housing a female Midas. It doesn't show up real well on this camera, but basically I'm keeping her in there to keep the tank cycled. I do have dividers, that way if I get multiple pairs of Carpintus at the same time, which I'm hoping for, I plan on dividing this tank, moving her up with the Oscar, putting 2 pairs of Midas in here. I know that she will get along with Oscar just fine. I had her housed with him for a couple months and no issues whatsoever. So, that's those 3 tanks. And then over here is my 75. This is where I keep Dozer and Caprica, my male and female F2 Midas pair. This guy right here, he's probably about 9 inches long right now. She's, I think, right around 6, maybe 7. I haven't really measured either one of them real well. I know that he's about 9. I actually was able to get a measuring tape up next to him one night, and he was about 9 inches, maybe a little over. And then she is very feisty. She does not like anybody coming near her fry. Just look at her. So eventually these two will get that 6-foot tank to themselves, and that piece of driftwood will go in there too. I had that in my my 6-foot tank, but due to it being so long, I couldn't put the divider in like I wanted, so I just moved it in here for now until I get the Midas moved over. So, and this light, or this tank, I'm using. It's just a regular old shop light from Lowe's. And I've got 2 6300K bulbs in here, and does a real good job of lighting this tank up. Makes them pop real well. So yeah, so there's the 75. There's the 75, and then over here, back up. Here is the 112. And there's my 40 gallon. I used that for a while. You might have seen that in some of my other videos. It's totally shut down now, but and then the 255s. And eventually, this tank down here at the bottom may end up housing either a pair of Pellini or a single Argentia. My friend Barry Lowe has has some Argentia and some Polini or Polini. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but he's got some of those. He's growing out, and we came to an agreement that I'm gonna trade him some Carpintis for either Argentia or Polini or Polini. I'm not sure just yet which one I'm gonna go with. Kind of leaning towards Argentia because I really like the silvery color they get. But yeah, that's my tanks. Nothing super special, but for $100, I couldn't pass on that. And then there's my 75. Alright, thanks for watching.